Hello, it is Sara Waggle, astrologer and leadership coach here for Wellness Astrology, this time for the moon in Cancer. This is November 18th and 19th. And housekeeping things, links below if you would like to work with me. There's the sun, moon, rising. There is the single transit reading if you would like to know how Mercury retrograde or Mars retrograde or any lunation cycles are going to be affecting your personal natal chart. That would be the single transit reading. You can also get the wellness astrology consultation, where I can inform you of what nutrition and exercise is best suited for your natal chart. And then there's the full chart consultation as well. So that link is below. You can also check out my guest appearance on the Hearts Unleashed podcast, where I talk about breaking up with your victimhood and all of that. And then, of course, there is the Awakening Spirit Collective. If you would like to be further supported through different ways of spirituality, there is a journaling coach, there is a chakra dance coach, all kinds of different support services through there. And I've been doing weekly astrology forecast on there. And so that's in the description box below. So this week I am titling it, sorry about that. Love your individuality. Subtitle: Hue versus Seven of Nine. If you are Trekkie, here you go. Here's your nerd stuff. The reason I'm saying Hugh versus Seven of Nine, let's go to Star Trek Next Gen. We'll talk about Hugh was a member of the Borg Collective. But Hugh, who was rescued by Captain Picard, Geordi LaForge, that Star Trek group. But Hugh couldn't thrive without his connection to the collective, right? Fast forward to Star Trek Voyager, Seven of Nine was rescued by Captain Janeway and Chakotay. And in an episode called Scorpion, by the way, which is really interesting because this is happening in Scorpio season. But Seven of Nine was disconnected from the Borg Collective and was indeed able to thrive. Now she had to move through some stuff and learn how to be human again, but she was able to thrive on Star Trek on Voyager. And so, can we just for a second, ladies, talk about Voyager and eye candy? Okay, if you know, you know. But Chakotay and oh my God, they were all hot. Okay. All right. Anyway, and Seven of Nine, spoiler alert, ended up with Chakotay, which I thought was really hot. But anyway, okay. So, Moon in Cancer. Couple things. This week is going to be a lot of dynamic. It's a lot of change. But on Monday, the 18th, at 4:20 p.m., celebrate, partake as you will, but that's when Pluto moves to 29 degrees and 59 geometric minutes of Capricorn until Tuesday, the 19th at around 3 p.m. when he will ingress into Aquarius. So happy graduation day. We made it. We made it through Pluto Capricorn. If you are any kind of Capricorn placement, you are celebrating on the 19th. And so congratulations to all of us. Now we are shifting our focus from Capricorn energy, which is authority and systems and structures and government and all of those things. We're shifting from that since 2008 to 2024 until 2044, where it's about humanity and humans and being your individual self and being authentic and all of those things. I think I've talked to you before about, whether you are into something that I'm not interested in, but if you're that interested and passionate, I'm with you. I'm hearing you. And so that's what Aquarius loves. Aquarius loves that. Aquarius loves when you are your individual self. Now, if you think about, if we think about a community, right? If you have ever been in a small town, you know that every small town has their handyman. Every small town has, the seamstress. Every small town has, I don't know, the gardener or, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like each of us have these individual roles, and you probably wouldn't ask the seamstress to do your gardening, and you probably wouldn't ask the handyman to do your seamstressing, right? Your sewing. Because each of those people, those roles are important and necessary. And so feel into that. Your individuality, your skills, your talents, what you can offer your community, your service is important. And that can include creativity, writing, painting, crocheting, knitting, all of those things. And so, your role is important. It's valuable and necessary. Okay. So, this moon in Cancer, it's going to be emotional. It's going to invite us to take care of ourselves, but take care of yourself in a way that is take care of yourself in a way that is nurturing to your authenticity, right? I think I talked about with the moon in Gemini, disconnecting from social media and like what would happen if we didn't have celebs to tell us how, to tell us the new popular thing, right? And for many of us, this is the case. Many of us have disconnected from celebrity culture a long time ago. Um, and so, we're not trendy, we're not keeping up with the Joneses and all of those things. And that's going to be completely acceptable with Pluto and Aquarius, which makes my damn day. Um, um, and so this is also going to be particularly once we head into Sagittarius season, which obviously includes like Thanksgiving in the United States, but this is also going to include things like broadening your perspective and allowing to have conversations with people who have differing viewpoints than you and learning how to coexist, knowing and understanding that just because somebody has a differing viewpoint than you does not inherently make them a negative person or it doesn't inherently mean that they dislike you or don't appreciate you or don't value you just because their viewpoint is different than yours. And so feel into that with this moon in Cancer, as far as how your self-care goes, because maybe your self-care means that you need to educate yourself. Maybe your self-care is that you need to have a conversation. Maybe your self-care is that you need to expand yourself, and broaden your own horizons, right? That could be your self-care. And so, I keep wanting to like so many of us have our escapisms, right? We all have our like shopping therapy and the weighted blanket therapy and the gym therapy. And I'm not wronging any of that, but that's kind of like keeping us comfortable and safe. And there's going to be a lot of ego death. And our ego is that human brain that likes to keep us safe. And unfortunately, in order to move and go where we're going, we have to have an ego death and open ourselves up to learning something new or learning a different perspective or, exposing ourselves to things that are maybe uncomfortable. And so I feel like there's going to be a lot of difficulty with that, but also I think that there's a lot of us that are ready to broaden ourselves and open ourselves up to different ideas, different opinions, and things like that. So let's see what's up with the tarot. This is also the last illumination in Scorpio, because once we move into the moon in Leo, it's going to be Sagittarius season. But anyway, so happy birthday to the 29-degree Scorpios, because I know what it's like when you get ignored on the last day. I'm a 29-degree Aquarius. People forget me because they're all ready for freaking Pisces season. So if you're a 28, 29-degree Scorpio, I love you and I appreciate you. I should probably do that with the end of every sign, but All right. I'm giving these a good shuffle because I haven't shuffled them in a minute. And I'll give them a knock and see what we get going on for this moon in Cancer. Since I just talked, wouldn't it be cool if I drew Hugh in Who is in this deck? No, there is no Star Trek Voyager decks. It's not that popular of a show. And to be honest with you, as popular as Next Gen was, this is actually not the greatest deck. The actual best Star Trek deck is the Star Trek Original Series deck, but I don't know enough about it. Maybe I should get it though. What do y'all think? Do you think I should do Star Trek the Original Series? Hmm. I don't know. I kept also thinking that I'm gonna not do tarot anymore because I don't have I haven't studied it enough to feel comfortable with it always. We'll see. Well, who knows? Y'all know I'm full of surprises, so you never know. You never know what I'm gonna do. I don't even know sometimes until I'm planning it, and then I'm like, oh, okay. Many of my nomad journeys have been like that. I didn't know I was doing that until I was doing that. Um, ooh, Death in Reverse, Tasha Yar. Ooh, well, it's in reverse. And I did mention the ego death part. And I think that this is kind of like in this being the last hurrah of Pluto and Aquarius or Pluto and Capricorn heading into Aquarius. Like there's something's gotta go. Something has to go because something's ready to be born. Something's ready to be birthed. Some part of you, your authenticity, your creativity. We want to read your book. Yes, I get it. People want to read my book. I know. People want to read your book. People want to hear your storytelling. People want to hear your comedy. People want to hear your or see your art or hear your sound bath or hear your touch your tactile art, your sculptures, your quilts if you do tactile quilting. People want to see it, hear it, be with it, and know that you loved creating it. So there's some part of you that's like ready to be birthed. And in order for some part of you to be birthed, something's got to go. And I feel like that's what we're going to experience in the 11 hours of Pluto at 29:59 Capricorn moving into Aquarius. Something has to go. This could obviously be on the global scale too, but I'm not trying to avoid all that shit because honestly, mm, but something's got to give in order for something to be birthed. So, you got to make sacrifices when you have a kid, right? When you have a baby, you don't get to sleep anymore. So lots of thoughts there. What else we got? The Empress upright. Um, your intuition's coming on freaking line. Pay attention. What do you hear when it's quiet? Do you allow it to be quiet enough so that you can hear what your higher self, what your spirit guides, your team's trying to tell you? Are you quiet enough to actually know what you need to be nurtured, to nurture your brain, to nurture your confidence? Like we're moving into a really special time. And I don't mean special like small bus, small school bus. I mean special. God, that was really bad. I mean special as in unique. Like this time that we're moving into is so unique. And we're still in preparation because we still got Mercury and Mars going retrograde. But in order to really build the thing that's authentic to you, unique to you, individualized to you, you got to allow your intuition, your clairs, your intellect to come online. And by intellect, I mean like you're all knowing. Clairvoyant isn't that clairvoyance is all knowing, or claircognizance. Sorry, claircognizance is all knowing. You know a lot of shit. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. All right, last hurrah with the dark magic deck. I'm not going to use it for Sag season. But last hurrah here for the dark magic deck. So let's see what it has for this moon in Cancer and this last day of Pluto and Capricorn heading into Pluto Aquarius. Congratulations, happy graduation, everybody. We made it. Hallelujah. I am, you know, when I studied astrology and I really got into the history of astrology, I literally had this moment of like, oh shit, this is why I'm fucking here, is Pluto and Aquarius. And I didn't even know it was a thing. And then when I learned it was going to be a thing, I was like, oh, like everybody's going to understand Aquarius. Finally, I won't be the weirdo because we're all weirdos in our own freaking way. But I was like, this is why I did, my healing journey when I did my healing journey. And this is why I got, that I have the mental capacity to be where I'm at right now. And I still have my downtime. Don't worry. I require a lot of downtime. All right. So what are we looking at here? Pure. Um, yeah, honor your energy. Yep, for sure. As I get more into wellness astrology, and I talk to clients who have, certain elements heavily in their chart. And I'll mention to them, what that element indicates according to wellness astrology. And they're like, oh my God, that's exactly what, my guides told me, or my higher self, or that's exactly what I've been feeling lately. I've been not wanting to, you know, take in this or that or the other thing. And so we can learn a lot by studying the elements that show up in one's chart according to wellness astrology. Honoring your energy, knowing that maybe it's time to set some screen time limits on those apps, or knowing that, you know, knowing that you need to, um, support yourself in a certain way, whether that's turning off the news or turning off social media or turning off the YouTuber or whatever. Please don't turn me off though. Um, but anyway, so I think it's a really important time to honor your energy. It's really important to learn when and how you need to honor your energy. That's a lot to do with this Cancer, Moon and Cancer, and self-care and things like that too, is like, maybe you only need like 15 minutes of news time a day, if even that. Or maybe you don't even care at all, and that's okay. You don't have to know what's going on in the world every day, because hearing about travel accidents on a daily, or hearing about this, that. I'm not saying don't be aware of it, but I'm saying like limit your exposure, because that can affect your mental state and your emotional state, and therefore affect, in many cases, it can affect your physical state. If you've got primarily water in your chart, and you're taking in all this anxiety ridden news and all of this like uncomfortable news media, that can upset your system, that therefore disrupt your digestion, disrupt your nervous system, and all of those things. And we can learn that from wellness astrology, and we can also learn that just by paying attention to our own body rhythms and things like that. When I first started unplugging my Wi-Fi, it wasn't that I didn't know that that was the best thing to do. I already knew. The astrology just affirmed it. So, there's a lot of things that like our little voice in our heads trying to tell us, and we're just not paying attention, or we're just ignoring it. And then, they're like, all right, well, if you're going to ignore me, then fuck you too. So this is really a good opportunity to really be introspective and turn off the noises in your environment, and all of that. So, all right. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate y'all so much. Of course, like, comment, all of the things. It really does help the algorithm. I know I got some new people, and so I will do a formal introduction in the next video launching into Sagittarius season. So bear with me, and all of that. So thanks so much. I'll talk to you guys on the next video.